All right, welcome back to the voice of the AI revolution. We are your hosts. He is Oliver Yarbrough.
Yes.
And I am Kirk Hunter. Today's topic is how AI can improve the customer experience. And Oliver, I'm going to have you walk the people through two different terms that sound very similar, but they're actually a little bit different.
Okay.
Customer service and customer success.
Yes, okay. So, you go through all this, it's business or organization, you go through a lot of effort to get a customer. You go from product development, you market it, you get the leads, you sell them, you close them, and then what happens after you close them? Closing meaning they bought it, the product. Well, customer success helps them implement it, get it adopted, get them comfortable using it so that they stay a customer.
So it's getting the customer off on the right foot.
Yes, get them off to a good start so that they become stickier and they stay with you longer, right?
Okay.
Customer service is typically dealing with issues. So if after they implement it and they're good to go, if at some point down the road they start having issues where whatever, it doesn't light up right, it doesn't do whatever it's supposed to do, then they would call customer service. Because typically customer success is driven by an individual or a group of people assigned to an account, whereas customer service is like a call center, for example. So it's not necessarily personalized to that extent. So customer service is basically fixing issues.
Okay, so I'll walk through a practical example. Just let me know if I'm on the right track. So let's say you have a website that sells plumbing supplies.
Okay, great.
So customer success is when you're talking the customer, the client, through how to use the website. So this is where you go to look for sinks. This is where you go to look for tubs. This is how you size things out. This is how you check out. This is what you can expect from delivery standpoint. That's customer success. Customer service comes when you get a sink and it arrives broken, and now you have to call somebody to get it replaced.
Yeah, it could be as simple as that. If we're talking about a plumbing or a website, say, for plumbing for plumbers. So these are the people who actually put the plumbing stuff into homes and businesses. So let's just say the website was geared towards like a business like that. Customer success might help them, as you said, get used to the website, like how to use it, like how to order something, when stuff comes in, like how, like what to expect basically. And so that they can get off to a good start. Customer service, on the other hand, is if they get stuck. If they get this here and it's been months after they've gotten up and running, maybe customer service might be something's missing in the package. I thought I ordered this. I only got 3 of the 4 items that I ordered. It came damaged. It came late. Things of that nature, customer service would be perfect for it. But if it's a user, I don't know how to use it, things of that nature, or I'm not maximizing its use, that might be more of a customer success.
Got you. Okay, so now that we've walked through the different scenarios and distinctions between customer service and customer success, how can AI enhance and improve that customer experience? And let's start with customer success. How can AI enhance customer success?
Well, it all comes down to personalization. When you think about it, customer success is driven a lot of times by what other customers have done or experienced. And once you get a certain number of customers, the data you get just becomes overwhelming. It can be. So by leveraging AI to aggregate that information and give it to us at the right time at the right place, it can allow us to offer that customer a more personalized experience. So we know what's happened to other customers, but based on what you're telling me and based on what I know has happened with other customers of a similar nature, here's what I think we should do. And now you get an experience that bonds you with the company or the organization that much tighter. And it gives me a solution or a product that helps solve my need that much better. And if I have a product or solution that's solving my need and I'm comfortable with the price, I'm less likely to switch or go anywhere else. So it helps with customer retention as well.
And whenever you talk about implementation with customer success, typically that involves some sort of onboarding process.
Yes.
And anytime you have anything with onboarding, there's always a ton of data that you have that is specific to, it could be a segment of your client base or your prospect. So you can actually take that data and figure out, okay, for this particular segment, I can focus on this with onboarding because this is what their main concern is.
Yes.
Whereas with this segment, they have different concerns, different things that they're looking for. Now I can tailor my onboarding for them.
Yeah, exactly. And based on the price range of your offering, I mean, you're talking about a cheaper software. Maybe that's more automated. It's more than watching online videos and then maybe sitting on group calls or whatnot to get their questions answered. As opposed to if it's a higher ticket item, maybe that person will be assigned an individual who will walk them through either in person or virtually on how to use that product or service better or how to maximize it. So absolutely.
Right. Okay, so now that we've covered the customer success, how can AI improve the customer service experience?
Customer service. So similar to we talked about in the past with our drive-through examples, everything else, getting a display of some sort on what are some of the typical customer service issues that other companies of a similar nature are dealing with. So it helps us behind the scenes be proactive. And that's where a lot of times, I don't know, if you've experienced it with your car or your vehicle, but they do these recalls. We can start seeing trends happen based on the people calling into the call center and what their issues and problems are. We can start to see a trend evolving that we need to get ahead of. And we start to reach out to customers before they call us because we know that this is an ongoing issue that we need to address. So that's why you hear things like recalls and things of that nature, because they're seeing this. So by leveraging AI, for example, it can help us not only identify it sooner, it can prevent a lot of different costly problems from, as bad as accidents all the way down to missed revenue opportunities. So for example, imagine if in the airplane with the autopilot issue, which happened like a few months ago, imagine if the data had been coming in on a regular basis, it was being reviewed from maybe a group larger than customer service, but it's the same aspect of it. We start to see that there's an issue here. Maybe we can get ahead of it before it becomes a deadly type of situation.
So if we apply this to our entrepreneurs, our small business owners, our high-performing individuals, what we're saying is if you have any sort of customer service component, what you need to be looking at is how you can leverage that data that's coming in or how you can capture data, because there's a lot of people who are just taking calls and handling an issue and moving on to the next one. But if you're documenting all these issues that are coming in, all of a sudden you start to paint a picture that you can put into tangible numbers of the areas for improvement within your organization. You know where to divert your resources to handle things. Okay, 70% of my customers are having this issue. I'm going to pour resources into a fix, and I'm going to automate the process so that when people are running into this issue and they call in, I can have that handled and I can free up some staff to do other things.
Absolutely. I'm always as well looking at being proactive in the sense that it's not just about fixing the existing problem, and it's not even about being proactive in that I fix the underlying root cause. I'm talking about taking it to the next level where you start to see opportunities where you can then sell them additional solutions or products. Because customer service, a lot of people, and this is not it's not the sales revolution, it's the AI, right? But I do love to inject marketing and sales information and knowledge, right?
Hey, there's no AI revolution without sales anyway.
Exactly. But the aspect of customer service not just being a cost center, but being leveraged to help you make more money by fixing the reason that the person or the customer called in for, fixing that underlying problem, that root cause, but then Once you fixed it, you've gotten their approval. Now looking at how can I now introduce you to another solution that you may not have thought of based on all this data I have on you. We get this a lot when we call into our cable companies, our phone companies. They fix like your issue, and before they get you off the phone, what do they ask you? Have you thought about this? Or are you getting this service? Or have you gotten our new subscription? They're introducing you, they're upselling you, cross-selling you a different or other services or products they have. That's exactly what they're doing. They've either reduced the expenses coming out of customer service, or they actually, in some cases, turn at least a portion of their customer service experience into a sales generator.
Yes. And for people who may not be familiar with the customer service folks, they might not always love to add a sales component to what they do because they're so used to putting out fires.
Yes.
But that does come down to leveraging your employees and figuring out how to implement onboard a customer success type of role that can handle that.
Yes, and exactly. In that case, you don't necessarily need to turn customer service into salespeople. But what you do is you just have them open the door that then you then get transferred. Because I know you've been on calls where you've expressed the interest and they say, great, hold on 1 second. And then you were transferred over to someone else like who jumped on. And this is another aspect where AI can be beneficial, because how many times have you gotten transferred from customer service to a salesperson and that person had no clue why you were transferred?
Yes.
If that information had been transferred over and they had the same information that the customer service person had, all that history on you that AI had aggregated, now when they get you on the phone, they're not getting on from scratch. Yes, they may ask you, how can I help you? But they're mainly getting you to start talking, not because they don't know what's already been said, but just to start an engagement.
Yeah. And a tip for all the business owners, entrepreneurs who have a customer service component, especially if you're going to use it as a lead generation kind of tool and transfer it over, please make sure that you're incentivizing these workers for the lead generation, because, again, customer service, having worked in customer service eons and
Who would have
eons and
thought
eons
Kirk
ago.
worked in customer service?
Well, it's because of the voice. It's
Just
very
the voice,
calm and
absolutely.
reassuring to people. But having worked in customer service, I can tell you that as you're fixing all these issues, you just want to get to the next one, and especially when you're adding more things to the plate, it's not necessarily going to be a focus unless there's some sort of incentive. So if I pass it along to sales and then the sales closes it and I get, I get recognized for that, and then that leads to gift cards or commissions or incentives or anything like that. Be thinking about some sort of incentive program so that your customer service reps will look actively for opportunities to generate leads or upsell the customer for you.
I like that, because how many times have we heard stories where the CEO actually started in customer service, or started like a packing, like the mail center, or started off at some other job down there and then grew up to be the person running that company. So you definitely can't underestimate anybody. But you brought up a good point there. With AI, we think about AI from the customer facing standpoint, like the customer speaking with us and having a problem. But the flip side of it is we can look at that, analyze it from how can we incentivize our people more, whether it be customer success, customer service, because a lot of these people are on hourly, or they're on certain pay schedules. But incentivizing them by looking at the metrics on both sides of the equation can definitely help to grow the organization and take it to the next level.
Right. So I guess the takeaways from this are: figure out ways that you can capture data from customer service, figure out ways that you can personalize and automate your customer success experience, and look for ways to incentivize your workforce so that whatever expansion you have, be it upsells or lead generation, they will be properly compensated and motivated to take care of the company objectives.
I mean, Kirk just took the words right out of my mouth. He does it all the time.
Yeah. That's what we do here. So we hope you enjoyed this episode. How can AI improve the customer experience? We are your hosts. He is Oliver Yarbrough.
Yes.
I am Kirk Hunter, and you have been listening to the voice of the AI revolution. Viva la revolución.